Electric scooters are an increasingly popular alternative to cars, especially for short distance travel. This is the Varla Eagle One dual electric scooter. We have a full review and an off-road test. With the world looking for more options for transportation, I think it's time to find out why these have become so popular. The model we have here is the Varla Eagle One. This was provided by Varla for long-term testing. As you see it here, is equipped with an 18.2 amp-hour lithium-ion battery, independent suspension, and it produces a peak 2.14 horsepower and 26.5 foot-pounds of torque thanks to dual hub motors. You can even run it as either rear or all-wheel drive. Price as it sits here, $1,699 US. As of this filming, Varla is also including an extra tire tube, a second deck sticker, and a second charger as part of a promotion. But that, of course, may change without notice. If you really milk it, the range of this Eagle One is 40 miles. I expect we'll see a lot less. Charging takes up to 9 hours with a single charge. You can also run dual chargers to cut that down to 4. But if you're just running around every day, plugging it in overnight should be no problem. This isn't the type of thing where you're going to be going interstate and need to do a quick charge halfway through the trip. That argument doesn't really work here. Brakes are dual hydraulic units. ABS is also standard. In terms of other safety equipment, it comes both with a headlight and a taillight for safer riding at night. Loading it into a larger vehicle isn't too hard. The bars fold down for easy carrying. But at a weight of 77 pounds and kind of awkward carrying proportions, smaller riders may find it difficult to move. Up here we have an LCD screen that shows all relevant information. What they represent as gears is actually a speed limiter, because this, like many other electric vehicles, doesn't have a proper transmission. There's no need for it. 1 caps the top speed at 15 miles per hour, 2 is 25, and 3 allows for the full 40 mile per hour top speed. Okay, this is quick. So the first thing I'm going to test here is actually throttle control. I've found on many of these, the old gas power ones I tried, throttle control was super tough. It didn't do what it said it was supposed to do. So this is gear 1, and I'm just in standard drive modes. Boy, it's weird doing 23, 24, this close over the ground. And then if you start to tilt a little bit, just add throttle, and boom, there you go. Once you get used to it, it's pretty good. Needs turn signals. So I just did all settings on maximum, ran as pretty good length there. It never went over 25 miles per hour, which, to be honest, is fast enough for a scooter like this, but I don't know where they're getting 40 from. I'm not seeing any possibility of 40 unless you're going downhill in a windstorm. Still, this is really fun. Control is pretty good. I mean, I'm finding steering this is great. I'm a little concerned about traction. I'm not sure how much of a tilt I can get on that, but that's just from lack of experience with this exact unit. But throttling into the corners really pushes that power and back. Really is a nice exiting feel. I think I actually prefer this in rear-wheel drive. The suspension is really soaking up all the irregularities. It's very nice. Nice suspension. Good control. Can't really go too tight at high speeds here, of course. That makes sense, right? Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see. Okay, now we're in eco, turbo. Let's go dual motor. The full 2 horsepower. Okay, I got it figured out. So you can go up to those top speeds. You have to be in dual motor, you have to be in turbo. The way the switches work here, it's just really confusing. You feel it when you turn them on, but it's just kind of like your brain's working through all the, is that in, is that out? I don't know, but I just got up to 30 miles per hour. Terrifying. Let's do it again. Whoa, front wheel burnout, yes! Okay, well that was fun, but this is a simple parking lot. Varla said we can test the real capability of this, and so yeah, we're gonna take this to our test hill and see how well it does off-road. But first, we need to load it up into the Ranger, and we're gonna drive over there. So after scooting around the park for a bit, we thought we'd take it out here to our official test hill. This is what we use for testing crossovers, SUVs, and trucks. But today it is going to be used for this Varla scooter. Now I want to talk a little bit about how the scooter controls work, because they're kind of good, kind of eh. The brakes are just like a bicycle. On the left, you're braking your rear tire. On the right, you're braking your front tire, which is really good. You don't want to, of course, mistake the two on a downhill, steep hill, because then you'll be like, what? Endo time. But it's nice to have these two available. And then I really want to talk about the buttons. This Eco Turbo single dual, you do feel the difference, but it takes a moment. It's not obvious what they do. Instead of buttons, they really should have toggles. That would work a lot better. Over here, the main control, we have the throttle. And the throttle works pretty good, but keep in mind, while you're throttling, your hand is not completely over the grip because you have to keep a finger up there. Personally, I prefer motorcycle throttles because you have a firm grip on the vehicle. I can understand that might be difficult for beginners, especially if you put too much throttle, then you fly back and then you're throttling even more. So, okay, maybe the finger throttle makes sense because if you get thrown back, actually thrown back, you're still pulling that throttle. Anyway, maybe I'm just used to motorcycles, who knows. But overall, actually, I thought this thing would be a little more challenging to ride than it is. Of course, that's on pavement and on a perfectly even gravel trail. So here we have hills. Now this does say, Varla says that this will take a 30-degree climb. We have lots of 30-degree climbs around here. But the one thing that I'm wondering is, will it do a 30-degree climb with somebody who weighs 215 pounds? That's a good question, isn't it? So we're going to find out. Hat away. Helmet on for safety. Put the front on. Bonus points if you can identify all three stickers on this helmet. Sticker, sticker, sticker. And what do you get? You win internet points, okay? Congratulations. Oh yeah. So let's give this a try. Ah! Come on, you got this. Oh, oh, oh. Yes. Whoa, oh, bouncy, bouncy. Whoa, okay, here we go. Yes. Ha. Hey, this is actually pretty good. The suspension works amazing. Yeah, you do have to kick off a few times, so you better be limber. Ha! Goes right up that hill. Sweet. Now I'm going to kick to, whoop, that was turbo. Okay. So I'm going to kick to one-wheel drive so that I can kick the back around. Now downhill, I definitely want to use a lot of the back brake, so I'm not putting all my weight forward. The suspension really soaks up a lot of this irregularities left over from when we were riding on the wet trails earlier this year. Oh. That is actually a lot of work. It had power for that hill though. And that hill is actually really rough because we drive up and down it even when it's muddy. So it creates a lot of tire troughs. But man, scooter handled just fine. This, however, is going to be a real challenge. Super soft gravel. This is fresh gravel. We don't have a lot of traction going here because these are the street tires. So let's see how we do. We might need to jump onto the dirt. Yeah, I guess nothing better to do than give it a try. But I think this is where the all-wheel drive will really come into its own. Okay, I hope I don't bite it. See, that's rear-wheel drive, that's front. Okay. Now here where I'm really putting my weight backwards. Otherwise I will completely bite it as this little tire bites into the gravel. I'm also adding a little throttle to shift power to the back. Oh yeah, that's sketchy. So what happens when I start washing out is I actually add throttle because that shifts power to the back, which removes all that weight in the front that's causing the washout. It's kind of hard for people to get the hang of the first time, but once you do, super easy. I'm going to switch to rear wheel drive so I can spin this around. Let's skid it out. Boom. Okay. It's easier to turn in rear wheel drive, so I love the fact that you can switch it. Okay, now let's try this, the climb. Put it in turbo mode. Is that turbo? No, I think, oh, that's, again, can't figure out which wheel drive it's in. There we go, there's all-wheel drive. It's really amazing the innovation that these electric hub motors have allowed. And of course, it's super quiet. Come on, you got this. It doesn't matter if I'm turbo or not, it's kind of at its max, just above 2 horsepower, and of course the grip. With street tires, it just doesn't have the grip. There's no way I would make it up that gravel. It's barely making it up the dirt. But here you go. Ha! I think we need to find some sweet jumps. Okay, now that we got our super sketchy 1970s era ramp built, I mean, I built hundreds of those for BMX bikes. We're gonna give it a try. Now, it's not very high, obviously, no reason to kill ourselves, but if I do fall, it will hurt. So we front wheel, let's go rear. Spin this around. Okay, I think we need a little speed. Give me some dramatic music. Video editor, give me some dramatic music once I do this. Maybe something epic. No, that's not right. A little more epic. Yeah, that's the piece. Ready? Let's do this. Whoa! That was awesome. So that's my review of the Varla Eagle One dual motor electric scooter. Overall, I was really impressed with this scooter. I love the technology that incorporates 2 hub motors. It really gives this thing a very dynamic and capable feeling. In the parking lot, very smooth, easy to control. You can get up to speed. It took a little while, but then again, I'm not the size of a child. And that might have something to do with it, as my wife pointed out. So overall, enjoyed this. On pavement, as a commuter scooter, the range is great, the feel is great, it's super fast, maybe a little too fast for some people. Really had a good time with it. Now here on the test hill, things were a little bit more challenging because of course we are running street tires. Now you can get knobbies for this. For some reason they didn't send it to us even though we told them what we were gonna do. That's fine. Going up hills in the dirt, great. Packed dirt, it does fantastic with. However, loose gravel, forget about sand. Those things are very difficult for this. So think about how your use is. If you're going to the beach with it, this is not the right machine, clearly. But you know, if you want to build some sweet ramps and you have good life insurance, dude, this is it. It's like, I feel like I'm in the 1970s with a BMX bike again. I love this thing. For Driving Sports, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share videos. Tell us what you think. Would you ride one of these? Post a comment below. We'll see you right here real soon.